Hey, yo, what's up? So, is it the end of jobs? Should we be focusing on the post-labor economy? And the answer to that is obviously yes. I wouldn't say that it's the end of jobs now, at this present moment, 2025, 2026. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes, right? Behind this terrible economic system that we have, when it comes to people being unable to spend and unable to save and provide what they call American dream here in this country that they call US of A. So what I'm saying is that no, it's not the end of jobs right now. But based on what I'm seeing and all the things that's coming about with the decisions that the presidential cabinets are making, Capitol Hill, things of that nature, it's like you really kind of see a transition into a different parallel for what's going on. Not to mention, you have artificial intelligence that's behind the scenes being created and built up, to higher levels, right? And like these higher levels, go from, things like, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, right? You have AGI, right? And then I believe there's one that's called AGS. And these things are being built behind the scenes, right? You're not really hearing too much about it, but it's that very thing that's going to come from behind and swoop your job up right from underneath you. Like, there's no secret that there's mass layoffs going on. I made a video a couple of months ago when UPS laid off 30,000 employees, right? And these 30,000 employees were being replaced with the idea of UPS using the AI as a alternate system to go with, right? So it wasn't that the people were working, or they wasn't that they weren't working. They were working, doing what they had to do. A lot of them, 40, 30 plus years, and then they get laid off because a better idea comes about in the form of artificial intelligence, right? And remember, I talk about these things in my other videos when I talk about, jobs and stuff like that. Like, don't fall in love with it. Why are you falling in love with a job? Why are you guys always defending a job? Because it's like that, just like what I'm talking about right now. And I don't want to get too far off topic, but they'll just get rid of you. You're just a number. 30,000 people have been without a job from the U.S. company, or not the U.S., but the UPS company, right? And it didn't matter if you put in 20 plus years, 30 plus years, 40 plus years. You were the captain of the snitching team. You told on everybody. You threw everybody under the bus. It didn't matter. They were going to get rid of you one way or the other, right? And like I said, so there's a apocalyptic situation here with jobs. It's not going to end at this very moment as we speak, but it is slowly trickling down, right? Bitcoin is becoming more popular, right? Bitcoin is a form of decentralization that people are able to use in order to be more of a trusted adversary, right? And it's a form of payment that you could use in the future. So you could talk about using Bitcoin in the future because that's what it's going to be. You can actually have a conversation about using Bitcoin, and let's say you get to Mars, right? Which that's not far-fetched. Let's say you get to Mars. Who knows when that'll be? but you can actually have a conversation of, can I use Bitcoin in Mars? That's a conversation. Can you transfer UPS to Mars? Can you transfer your job to Mars? No, we can't really talk about shit like that, because that's not something that the oligarchies of the world even sees, right? So, you know, what I'm saying is that you guys should be in preparation of, you know, putting, you know, your certain monies together to the side, whether you're, you know, trying to get, you know, dividend incomes, which you are building, you know, Bitcoin as a source, or, you know, a source of payment, something that's paying you, that you're not 100% reliant on somebody's job. Because at the end of the day, you're going to find yourself working 10 different occupations or jobs in order to make the salary or the amount of money that you make right now with one job. Because remember, Bill Gates said it himself. They see, and more than likely will, attribute 2-day work weeks. So that means you're going to only be able to work 2 days a week, right? And what does that tell you? That's not a fucking good thing. A lot of people think that's a good thing. They'll turn around and say, oh, well, great, shit, we work 2 days a week, man, and I can enjoy the rest of my life. Wrong. Let me tell you, here's my reply to that. It's wrong, because 2 days a week isn't going to pay your bills. 2 days a week isn't going to pay the inflation that's going to 10 times over within the next 10 years. Because remember, they haven't stopped the inflation yet. So with that being said, how does a two-day work week help you, right? So you got to think about that, man. You got to think about that. Gotta have your water. Gotta have your H2O. But yeah, man, you guys need to really understand what's going on. Take the blindfolds off. Take the blindfolds off and see what's going on around you. Jobs aren't going to last forever. At some point, it's going to be, I'm working 6-7 days a week right now, struggling, busting my ass to getting 2 days a week. And now you're going to need 10 different jobs in order to make that same amount of money, if that makes sense. So think about it, guys. The world is changing. Society is changing. And I'm only going to bring you the truth and awareness based on my perspective. But at the same time, I also study things that have happened in the past that also repeats time after time after time. Right? So that's it. That's all I got for you guys, man. So if my thoughts align with your thoughts, like and subscribe to this video here. And this is the voice of the people. Have a good one.